we will start the lecture. Today's lecture will be in two parts, are the two means way. Number one is that we will discuss about the theoretical part, that what it is and what we are going to discuss, what we are going to do. And then with the second part, we will be trying to have the one of the example, and then we will try to see that how we can do that example. Normally for the examples in our upcoming lectures, we'll be showing you the different examples, and we'll be briefing you about the examples, that how those things are working in a detail, about the code segments and about everything, so you can understand, and then you can start doing the same, and also the few of them related to that same, and also then we will be enhancing a little bit while we will be going to do in our lab sessions. So as we discussed that this is the programming course, so we need a lot of practice, which is the most important here. But at the starting week, because today possibly is the first week where we are going to write about the code, that how it could be and what could be the possible ways and how we can make them functional. So for the initial weeks, I will try to write the code with you, and you can see that how it is working, and what for what code and what segment is for what, so you can understand the things in a more appropriate way. But after a few weeks, maybe we will be just explaining the code, because then otherwise we will not be able, we will not be able to manage the time, because from this time we are trying to get the maximum benefit. But not to be worried, for this stage we will be doing like in the same way. So you remember that last week we had the holiday and we missed the lecture. That was about the first part of the GUI. And that was the reason that we also try to shuffle or change the lab part, because we were not able to complete these things in our previous lecture because of the public holiday. So probably we may require the one extra class later, once we will be going through with the flow, once you will be a bit more familiar with the Android and you will start writing the programs, you will be fine with that, then possibly we can go for the one extra class as well. So there is no issue for that. Now for the GUI, as you remember that for the GUI, we discussed that this is the most important and critical part of that. And in the GUI, we will have the three different weeks are the three different classes. So we can understand that the GUI is the very important, but why we have the 3 weeks? So why we have the 3 weeks? This is actually the reason is that we will not only discuss the GUI, but then we will try to apply that as well. That we can see, say for example, if we are saying we are discussing about some of the text views, or some of the buttons, or some of the radio buttons, or some of the checkboxes, some of the seeking bars, and some of the date pickers and these things. So we will not only discuss them theoretically, but then in this week and upcoming weeks, we will be see that how we can use them, apply them, and code them, and then we can make them functional. So we will start. Today is our first day for to discuss about the GUI component part 1. So in today's application, we will also try to design a simple, very simple sort of the calculator, and then we can see that how we are able to do that. And then we have the 1 or 2 related what we can call the problems with the same that will be 100% same, will be a bit different from the one what we are going to discuss. So you can do the practice for those two during the week, so you can understand more and you can see that how things are working. So a small calculator, maybe we will design. Maybe we have the two inputs, and then we can get the value, and then we can do the sum or the multiplication or whatever it is. That means only the change of the sign. That is not an issue. So that's what we are supposed to do today. So everybody knows about the important part that what it is, the user interface. The user interface is actually means made by using the GUI. So we are aware about that, that what is the GUI. So everybody knows what is the GUI, but in the Android, the GUI has actually a very higher importance in it. Okay. So that's why you will see that how we are going to use them, where we are going to use them, and how we will be able to means make them functional as well. So these all things are we are supposed to means do that today. So in the first part, we are going to start about the general discussion. That discussion is about the Android GUI that we will be discussing right now and in our upcoming weeks as well. But our major focus will be to make them functional, to use them in our applications. We know that the last weeks in the labs, you try to drag and drop and make the designs for the different options. Like suppose you use the different checkboxes, controls, buttons, text views, and also you try to use the bitmaps and images. You drag and put them in the interface, but you was not able to even knowing that how they can be functional. And the other way, you were not able to know that how or what are the other ways that we can means even make the design as well, and then how we can means keep them means align and what means the different layout, and then how we can make them means active or we can make them functional as well. So today we will go for the one of the example so you can understand, and we will go try to go for a very slow way so you can means understand and you can ask any question if suppose you are means having an issue for that. So what I will try to do is try to manage the time right now. I don't have, but for sure I will try to manage the time to make for the different examples for you differently, and then can make you available using the different source, maybe through the YouTube or somehow, so you can be able to have those particular parts or particular examples with the means details explanation that how these things are working, so you can use them and you can do the practice and you can do the very related to that. So this is how you will be able to learn and means short time period the good things. But not to be worried, we will start from the means this, and we will be ending up to the advanced concepts as well as per our outline. So from here, it will just allow me, so I just make a pointer so it can help you to understand the things in a more better way. So you can see from here, uh, if we just see here, so it is the an Android activity is a screen. Okay. First of all, you remember we discussed previously as well that what is actually the Android activity. So Android activity is actually a screen, the active screen. Okay. The screen where we can design, where we can put anything, that is known as the activity. The place where we are means arranging the different layouts. The layout we are not discussing, we didn't discuss it before, but we are discussing it we right now, means in upcoming lectures, but just to briefly for your understanding. The layout, what the layouts are, that how we are means placing the controls inside the screen. And inside the screen, the inside screen is what that is known as the activity. And we call it Android activity because that is the screen for Android. So things are pretty simple, not to be means worried about that. That is as simple as the similar to the Windows in the desktop. So when we have the screen, Windows screen in the desktop, that is the same screen in the mobile phones, cell phones, that is known as the activity. But that activity is very important because that's the container on which we can place the different controls using the different layouts. Like we have relative layout, we have contrast layout, we have different layouts. We will means learn about the layouts as well. And one of the layout we will be using today as well. So you can see from here, inside an activity, you can use the GUI components. So you all of the GUI components, the containers, the components are controls. So don't you means confuse yourself when we call the container, when we call the components, when we call the controls, these all things are the, it means referring to the same point. Okay, so we can use the components, UI components, only on the activity. And activity is what? That is the screen. And that screen or that activity, how we can place the controls or the components, we can place the controls or component. We must use one of the layout. Layout, it means how we organize. Okay, so there are built-in different layouts in the Android. We will be using means always at least one of the layout to go there, and then we will be able to means apply that thing. Okay, now each of the GUI implement in Android project is known as a view. So what is the view? So view is what? The each GUI element. What is the element? Element means the component. What are the components? Like suppose the text view, the buttons, the seek bars, whatever the controls are available. So these are the GUI element. Now you see here he's calling as an element. So element and component, these things are the same. And an Android project is known as the view. So the view is an overall number of the components. That is because all according to the Android API. So because of the Android API, we call these means these things as a view. But view is very important. We will be using that in means our code and our projects as well. So all the GUI component classes, they are actually the subclass of the view class. So I hope we are considering that all of you have means very good skills of the programming. That only means required, then we can be only continue with this one, but not to be worried. Means we are here to help you out, and things are very simple. So you can see from here, I hope that you understand the concept about the subclass, what I mean. So all the GUI components, they are the classes, are their classes are the subclass of the view. So the view is the superclass, our view is the master class. So whatever you means refer it. For example, of the view. So what is the view? It includes button, text view, edit text, checkbox, radio button, layout, list view, images, progress bar, and etc. There are so many other things as well. Not only these things. So these all things are what? They are view. So you remember we also call them as a component, GUI component. And where we place them? We place them on a screen. And that screen is known as what? That screen is known as the activity, but Android activity, because that's the part of the Android. Okay, so now you know what's the Android activity, what's the component, what's the view. But how we place them, in what order, okay, how we organize them, that is the layout. How we are placing them, horizontally, vertically, center, using the whole screen, using the half screen, using the upper corner of the screen, using the, so this we will be discussing when we will be going for the Miss Layout lecture. So you will see that how what it is. But for a simple, we can say that the layout is actually how we are arranging. But you can see that the layout is also the one of the member of the view. So layout itself is a view. So anything which actually help us to design the interface of the is comes under the view class. Okay, so these all are the member of the view class. So I hope you understand. Very simple. We will be repeating it again and again in a way so you can be able to understand the things more appropriately. Okay, going ahead. Now you can see from here the some views in Android Studio can be used some views. So you need to focus on this. Some views in Android Studio can be used to place other views. What it means? It means that within the view, we can use the other views as well. But this is only possible for some. For example, layout manager, because the layout itself is a view. But in the layout, we can place the other different components and controls, such as the linear, the relative layout, okay? The relative layout one, which we will be using today. The frame layout, the grid layout, they can hold the views such as what? Buttons, text boxes, edit boxes, check boxes, radio buttons, whatever, and image and these all things. So it means they can hold inside the layout, because when we have a complete screen, so you can see from right now from this screen for the PowerPoint, the whole computer screen, you can say that this is the actually activity. And what is the layout? So you can see the text is justified. So you can call that this is the justified layout. Okay, so we are placing all of the things inside the layout. So it's very simple. Why I'm giving you the example in this way, so you can understand. So today, in our today's example, we will be using the relative layout, and then we will be using the button. We will be using the text view, and we will be using the edit text. Means these are the two or three things we will be required to use for the simple calculator, and they all come under the view group. So view group is also the subclass of the view. So now you understand, it's very simple and pretty simple. As we have the names, they are reflecting to the same thing. What's the view? What's the view group? What's the layout? What are the components? What are the elements? Okay, what are the controls? What is the Android activity? So these all are the ABC of the GUI for Android. So you need to understand them very well conceptually and not confuse yourself. Okay, so the sum of the, as what we are saying, the sum of the views in Android Studio, they can hold the other views inside it or other components inside it. So what it means, like suppose what we said, that if suppose we are taking an example for relative layout. So today's we will be taking for the relative, our example will be, we will be handling, we will be dealing with the relative layout. Like other views, text views. If conclude, then we can see that you are sorry, and that after using that Android activity elements. Reference to the Android not view. So this is
Sir, you're lagging. I don't know if you can hear me.
yes,
You're still lagging, sir.
uh, wait, maybe I try to change my position. Maybe the connection will be better. So we are recording as well. Today we had a meeting, so that's I came to the office, and I feel maybe the internet connectivity is a bit okay. So in the future we will avoid the situation. Today because meeting we were here. So is it fine? Able to hear now? Are you able to hear now?
It's still laggy. You sound like a robot.
much. Okay, I try to go very slowly and try just going outside close to the means some access point where we can, and then we can. Okay,
Oh,
maybe
it's
just
better now, sir.
it's better.
Yeah, it's okay now.
That's great. That's great. So nice of you. And we will have the recording as well, huh?
All right.
That's great, huh? Thank you. Thank you. So the view group, sorry. So in this, what we means discuss, and this is the Android view. So the class is the root of the user interface class hierarchy. So now what he's trying to explain you how these all things are organized. So you will see in the upcoming slide that how in actual they are organized and where they are means actually placed and how they can be linked with each other. The most important part. Okay. So you can see so far an object point of view, all the user interface objects are the view object. So we will be able to see how these are linked with each other. And view group, we already discussed about that, that this refers to the Android view.view group class. And here you can see the view is Android view.view class, and this is actually the Android view.view group class. If we just go back, so you can see from here what we discussed that the view group is also a subclass of the view. So it means that this is also the subclass of the view class. Okay, and then we will be start using them. Then you will be able to understand it a bit more clearly, and you will be able to understand. That means in a more appropriate way. Okay, which is the base class of the user interface. So these all things are linked with the user interface. And then they can contain the other view objects as a children. Like since view group objects are also the view object, multiple view groups objects. So rather to go in a more bookish language, I'm just taking you to the next slide from here. The mapping you can see, and then we will try to go for the example, one of the example. So from where you can be able to understand that how these things are actually working. So going ahead, so from here you can see this is how the view of the GUI is mapped. So you can see that how many means components are this. And even there is a more detail. Okay, but this is the most important what we try to cover in this part. And this is the reason that we will be going for the 3 different lectures, and we will be trying to implement, use them, most of them, and how they are working. Because in Android, none of the application can be formed without the help of this GUI components. So you can see from here, as we said, that the view is the means main class or subclass, sorry, main class, not subclass, or the superclass, whatever you understand. And then you can see that it has the text view, is the component, analog clock, image view, progress bar, and then here you can see with a different color, that is the view group. You remember that last time you used the image view and then you apply the image, so you can do that means for the image buttons as well. When we come to the text view, then you can find out the further details. That could be the digital clock and chronometer, then it could be the text clock, edit text, and it could be the button as well. And there are so many other things which are linked as well. So this is not a comprehensive or complete. This is just only for your idea to understand about the view. So in a view group, you can see from here that it has the different layout. Relative layout means always in all of the application, we are supposed to use at least one of the layout, because without layout, we cannot use the container, the components. Because when we use the multi-components, we are supposed to means use some of the layout where we can mention that how we can place them accordingly. So now you can see from here the grid layout. As we discussed that these layouts we will be discussing later during the GUI classes, but in the later weeks, and then we will be seeing that how we are using them as well. Then we have the frame layout, absolute layout, linear layout, and then you will be understanding the difference and how it is. But in a simple way, if I just explain to you for your better understanding, so layout, it means the organization, arrangement of the components, UI components, what we are using, how we are placing them. We are placing them in horizontal. We are placing them in a relative mode. Relative mode means they are related to each other, linked with each other. We are placing them in a frames. We are placing them in a fragment. We are placing them in absolute value. We are placing in a grid format. We are placing them the right corner or the upper corner. We are placing them at the lower bottom corner or the lower bottom left or right corner, or we are placing them in the center. So these all things are actually means can be done with the help of the layout. So now you can see from here, from the linear layout, again, we can do the radio buttons and the tab widgets and search views and so many other things. So we will be using the linear layout as well. Okay. Now, why we are discussing this? Just to give you a brief understanding and idea that how much GUI is important in Android and how you can go and how you can use them. Okay, and you can also understand that in what layout, what type of the things will be easily suitable to that and how you can use them as well. So maybe you are not going to use the some component from here and some component from here and some component from here, and then this will create a trouble, a problem for your GUI or for your application. If suppose you want to use in this pattern, then again we have the different ways that we can see, we can learn later that how we can be able to handle that as well. Okay, so with the time you will be, I'm pretty sure that you are very good and intelligent students and you will be able to learn a lot, but just try to do the practice as much as it is possible, which is the most important. Okay, now going ahead, now here we can see uh, that we are defining here that following is the list of the views we will cover means further from all of these means different list of the views. We will be covering these all what we are mentioning here, like we will handle the button, radio button, seek bar, date picker, time picker, calendar view, rating bars, check boxes, text boxes, and the plain text, alert dialogues, list views, number, and the radio groups, passwords, relative layouts, grid layouts, linear layouts, frame layout, table layout, and absolute layout, and so many things. So these colors are actually identifying the groups of the views. That's what we just discussed in our previous slide. So you can see that why the few are the blue, few are the red, and few are the green, and few are the dark green. So you can see the dark green, they are the layouts actually. So these all will be, we will be using in our means upcoming in week number 4, which what means today we will be using like what we are using. We will be using the text view, we will be using the number today, we will be using the buttons today, we will be using the relative layout today. So these things will in the same way we will be using the means rest of the things in our upcoming classes. Not limited to that, we will be using a lot others as well, and we will try to use as much as possible. Maybe not possible for all because during this few weeks we cannot, but you can be able to use all of them with the time. So do continue the practice means again and again, and to try to use as much as you can. Okay, going ahead, now we just see about the suppose for the button. Okay, so the public class button, how it is, where it is, and how we can use and what it is. So this is the Android widget. We also call this as the Android widget. So this is also the Android widget. Text view is also the Android widget. And you can see Android view.view. So we just discussed that this belongs, this component or this control belongs to the view class. So this is the view class, and this is how it's just trying to give you the bit information about the button, where it is and what for what purpose we are going to use the button as well. So we are using the button for the different options where we just want to click the means to the button, so we can be expecting some action has to be done. Okay, whatever the action is, it depends on the code, or depend on the requirement, and what it could be done there. Okay, now in the same way, you can see from the text view, the same things what we discussed right now. So he's just trying to brief that this is the Android view means class, it belongs to that one. And this is the known direct subclasses are the app compact text view button, and this is the checkboxes and chronometer, digital clock, edit. So in this slice is trying to explain that these controls or these components that what we discussed, they belongs to which class and how means they are interlinked with that. So just trying to focus on the grouping. But the most important and major thing is that when we are going to use that one, so we are supposed to see that how we are able to use them. Okay, so when we are going to use them, things are simple, pretty simple, but when we don't know, then we really feel that something is, oh, this is something is very hard. But no, it's not hard. Okay, we need to go in a way so you can understand. So we will take a start for today, and then you will be able to see that one as well. Then the edit text. Again, we know that this edit text, the text view, button, these all are the means components. These all are the gadgets. These all are the means the views. So this will be also the same. So sorry, not the gadgets, but the widgets. So these all are the same. So you can see the Android.view.view. So it also belongs to the view, and this is also the Android widget, and it can be used for the at the text view, and also the same thing what we discussed for the others. So they all are the member for the same, and they are the known direct classes, and they are their known indirect subclasses. So in which class and how they are belongs to, that's what we already discussed in our previous slides. So here, sorry, here he is just trying to explain us further and showing us that how and where it belongs to. In case you suppose you need the means further details for anything, you can find a lot of material even from the Google itself for the Android. Means the documentation you can find out for anything, you can find out a lot of resources, a lot of material. They are provided by the Google as well. But you will not be required for that because most of the things what we require they are means done to be here. Just 1 minute. Just allow me the 1 minute. There is some urgent seems urgent call. Urgent. Okay, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Yes, young man. Sorry for this incumbents. I hope you are able to have my voice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's great. Sorry, because it was some urgent call. They have the meeting for the MQA. The
Sir, are you there? We can't hear you.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Yes, are you able to have my voice?
Yeah.
That's great. I do know that I'm in office and there is an internet problem here.
Oh, okay.
So I hope it is okay. Yeah. So are you able to have the screen as well? Maybe not.
No.
Not. Okay. We can go for the screen again. Yeah. So now,
Yes.
yeah, that's great. That's great. So we just move for that, and here we can see the edit text and these things. They will be also the same that what we are discussing with the class. So we are just skipping this because we are due to the MQA meeting, we are supposed to limit the class. So we will focus mainly about the program. Okay. So now we are at that stage that how we are going to means go for the program. So I'm just going to means that particular site to for the program. Okay. So and me. So yeah. So here we go. So I hope that you are still able to have the screen. Please confirm.
No, sir.
No. Okay. So just wait. I just run the application for you. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Once it is loaded, I will take you there. Okay, here we go. And here we have the screen. Yeah. So applications, yes. Now, do you have the screen?
Yes.
That's great. Huh? So now you can see that there was an application. I'm just going to run the application, and I hope that you can see the application. First, are you able to see the emulator as well?
No, sir, just the code and the design.
You are not able to see the emulator?
No, sir.
No, okay. Wait, then I have to share the whole desktop with you. Maybe the desktop. Yes, I can share the entire desktop. Share with you. So now, just again, one more minute, please. Yeah, yes, Steve. Okay, my students, I'm sorry to update you. Actually, I again received a call from the school management because of the MQA visit. They want to see everybody physical. So I have to go right now. So what we will do, this example in the upcoming lab, I will means brief to you and that part in the lab. So right now we may just go quickly for the attendance. So please go for the attendance, and sorry again for that. So in this week on a Friday, we will means do this example. So please don't miss that particular lab session, and I will brief you the whole example that what we have right a couple of minutes before. So because you have already the screenshot with the whole desktop with you, and sorry again because this was supposed to be the meeting at 12, but they are here right now and they want to see right now to the everyone, and you know that MQA is something important. So are you able to see the screen? And please do it as soon as possible. Meanwhile, I can pack up and become ready to go there.
Yeah,
So
we can.
yeah, so the code is AV24D5. And sorry again, but not to be worried. On this Friday, we will discuss the same example in the lab class. So I will brief you. I will do the coding, and I will brief you that how we can do that. Okay.